So you know the ones where you're listening to a song that you really like and you're like, that's my tune. That's my tune. Hey, this is Jojo B and this is the 9th episode of That's My Tune. Hey. Done another bonus for you guys. See how much I love you. So last week we were vibing with T. Aaron Music all the way from Connecticut. Hey. And it was nice talking with a fellow music producer. Now we are going to move away from 2020 and we're going to go all the way back to 1984, 36 years ago. I love this song so much and I've been wanting to record this episode for a while and I finally got round to it. We are going to vibe to one of the greatest tunes for me, in my opinion, of the 80s, and that's Chaka Khan's I Feel For You. Oh, love that song to bits and pieces. So find your 80s gear, vibe to this tune. Once it's done, I'll be back and I'll discuss some fun facts I found out about the song, why I like it as per usual, and more. I'll be back. Okay, everybody, let's give this song and this woman known as the great Chaka Khan a round of applause. Yay! Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Let me tell you something. Yeah, Chaka Khan is one of my favorite vocalists out there. Male, female, she's one of my favorites. And I've been wanting to talk about this song for so long. I can't pinpoint the first time I actually heard it, but I can link it to an event. That event being, if you're South Londoner like me, you would know of this event venue called Roller Disco. It no longer exists, hasn't existed for a good couple of years now. And Roller Disco, they were known for playing a lot of old school tunes, and this was one of them. And roller skating to this song, for me, I don't know why, the song just stuck in my head. And it just felt like an experience to me. I don't know why, but yeah. Shout out to Roller Disco though. That place was vibes, bruv. Although the first time I did go there, it's like, oh my goodness, I fell so many times. The next day I was so sore. Like, it was. But enough about Roller Disco. We're here to talk about Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Sorry, I'm going to be doing this throughout this episode because I just love. And the funniest thing is the way that Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, the way that came about, I'm going to talk to you about in a bit. There's so many amazing facts I found out about this song whilst I was doing my research. So apart from the musical aspects, in fact, I'm going to share some of them with you now. So yeah, Chaka Khan, I Feel For You was released in 1984, but the original was released in 1979 by Prince. He wrote the song and he released it on his first album. And word on road is, it was initially pitched to Patrice Rushen, along with one of his other songs, I Want to Be Your Lover. But she turned them down. So sometimes I wondered, did she regret that? Maybe because Prince wasn't really known at the time. She thought, who's this guy? I don't know, but I'm just speculating. And apparently another rumor is I Feel For You was actually written about Patrice Rushen. So like she was apparently shadowing him and he developed this huge crush on her and wrote the song about her. Again, I don't know how true this is, but again, word on road. So anyway, back to the matter at hand. He wrote the song I Feel For You in 1979. And if you would like to hear his version, it is actually available on Spotify and on YouTube. So if you don't have Spotify, you can listen to it on YouTube. And as much as I appreciate his version, I don't know, maybe because I'm so used to Chaka Khan's version, but I can see why Chaka's version was more popular. How Chaka Khan got this song. So apparently Prince, they pitched this song for Chaka to sing. But the thing is, Chaka had already heard the song and had wanted to record it for a long time. But the style of songs that she was singing at the time did not fit the style of I Feel For You. So she didn't do anything about it. Then it got to a point where Warner wanted Chaka to release a commercial record. She remembered I Feel For You and she went ahead and recorded that song. And just by the way, Spotify has this really cool feature that springs up from time to time. When you listen to a song, there's something called behind the lyrics. So as the song plays, it will tell you these little fun facts. So some of the facts I'm telling you about is because of Spotify. So yeah. So when you're listening to a song, scroll down to the bottom and sometimes you'll see like it has a genius thing and it talks about different facts about how the song came about and so on and so forth. So yeah, shout out to Spotify for that. Prince's version of I Feel For You is shorter in duration. Chaka Khan is like about 5 minutes or so. Let's talk about Chaka Khan's version. It was released in 1984. It's the most well-known and popular version. And it even won 2 Grammy Awards, Best R&B with Prince credited as the songwriter, and Best Female R&B Vocal Performance. And to me, the sound of the song is like a mashup of R&B, dance and pop. It's a really good crossover. Let's talk about the vocals first of I Feel For You. Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Listen, it's part of the vocals, okay? Right, so the vocals, let's look at the verses, yeah? So throughout the verse and the pre-chorus, the vocals are very, very, very simple. You just have Chaka Khan, baby, baby, when I look at you, I get a warm feeling inside. I'm singing an octave lower, yes, I know that. And then you have a second harmony that comes in and out from time to time. And I love how simple that is. There are no additional BVs. It's just Chaka singing on her own with a bit of harmony on top from time to time. And then when you go to the hook, I Feel For You, I Think I Love You. I Feel For You is a 3-part harmony. And then I Think I Love You is a 2-part harmony. Again, very simple, very straightforward. Where it's the most layered is in the bridge. So you have Chaka doing her big vocals. You have the woo. Yes, I know, I'm singing an octave lower. And so that woo bit is unison, is just that. And then you have the I feel for you. So the unison and the feel for you, that's the second harmony. So they sing feel for you and it's got the 2-part harmony there. So again, so even though the bridge has the most layering in terms of vocals, it's still quite simple, which I like. Let's talk about the Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Let's talk about that for a second. That's Melly Mel from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, but I'll touch on that a bit more in just a moment. So apparently that Chaka Khan bit, the way that cadence, if you like, was actually a mistake. So what happened was a gentleman, Marvin, his hand slipped on the repeat machine. So that's why the Chaka Khan, that's how it came about. So it's like when it came to the final cut, okay, we like it, so let's keep it. And it's amazing how mistakes can turn out to be so iconic, because when you listen to the song, you always remember Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Like, you always remember that bit. It's one of the catchiest parts of the song. Okay, so let's look at the lyrics. Baby, baby, when I look at you, I get a warm feeling inside. This is from the first verse. There's something about the things you do that keeps me satisfied. So this is clearly a woman who really likes this guy. And from the sounds of it, there's a physical relationship going on and she likes what he does to her. And if you continue to the second verse, baby, baby, when I lay with you, there's no place I'd rather be. And then when you get to the pre-chorus of the second verse, if you like, I wouldn't lie to you, baby, I'm physically attracted to you. So Chaka Khan here, she likes this guy and she's not shy about her feelings for this guy, and she's being straightforward that, like, I'm physically attracted to you. When I lay with you, there's no place I'd rather be. You know, she's being upfront about how she feels. And what I do like is that Melly Mel confirms, or rather, he feels the same way about her. So when he listens, Chaka Khan, I want to rock with you, I want to touch you, I want to please you too. That kind of, I hope I got those lyrics right. Yeah, but basically, he has mutual feelings. They have mutual feelings towards each other, which I do like. So there's that conversation. So she sings about how she feels, he raps about how he feels. And it's a nice marriage, because if you listen to Chaka Khan's previous style of music, you know, it's mainly live band. You got your R&B, you got your funk, you got your soul. Whereas here, it's 1984 now. It's a new decade. Her previous sound is not really working. And apparently this song helped to revive her career. And I can see why. You got her Chaka Khan fans, it's R&B, and then you got hip hop. So Melly Mel from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Now, remember, 1984, like, hip hop was really growing at that point. And it even reflects in the video as well. If you watch I Feel For You, the video, there's a lot of hip hop influences on there as well. And I like how the rapping wasn't cheesy. It was nice. It was simple. It was placed at the right places. It had its chance to shine. We've touched on the lyrics, we touched on the vocals. Let's talk about the production. One thing I love about the 80s, yeah, is how, electronic music was really, really, really infiltrating. Like the electronic sound was really, really, really infiltrating music. There were live bands who were playing everything. But now, because of technology, like now everybody's using MIDI, they're incorporating digital sounds more. And you can hear this in I Feel For You. And I love how big the production is. I mean, if you listen to the drums alone, like when you hear the bass kick, like the boom, 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 like it's mixed. Like you can hear that they really EQ'd it to hear the very low end. It just punches you in the chest. I love it. And the snare sounds so big. Everything about the drum kit just sounds so big. And I love the hi-hat. It's panned. So it's two different patterns and they've panned it. And I love that. I love that so much. And then let's talk about the synths, the bass, the synth pads, the various synth leads. I mean, they're just stacks and stacks and stacks. They weren't afraid. I mean, we've dealt with songs like Take Your Hand, Usher's Take Your Hand, right? Where it's stripped back. There's not much instrumentation. Everything's simple, crisp and clean. This one is the total opposite. And this is why I love the vocal production, the simplicity of it, because it allows for the music to shine. Because if there was too much vocals and loads of, okay, I'm not trying to say that loads of vocals and loads of instruments and stuff like that it can't work. It can do, depending especially on how the mixing engineer goes about mixing it. It can work. But in this song, I just love the simplicity of the vocals that allows the music to just, you can revel in the complexity of the music. Oh, and I love the way they mixed it because there's so many different melodies going on, loads of different chords and so on. But the way it's mixed, it just meshes so well. And I love that. Another thing I picked up about the music, if you listen to the hook, you hear the synth bass. There are two different basses, and I'll explain what I mean by that. There's the synthesized bass and there's the live bass. So when you hear the hook, dun 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 dun. I'm probably not singing it accurately, but there's a part in the hook of where the bass line, that's a live bass, and the bassist is using a technique called slap, and I think there's a slight bit of pick as well, but that is a live bass. It's not synthesized bass. And do you know what the funniest thing is? I was listening to this song the other day, and I've listened to the song countless times, and for some reason I only just picked that up the other day when I was listening again. I was like, oh snap. And that is a very good nod to the original version. And there's another aspect of the production that I like that I almost forgot to mention, and that is the use of reverb, different types of reverb and different degrees of reverb. Delay as well is very apparent, and that's why the mix sounds so big and so huge, because they weren't afraid to use that. Same with the vocals, especially the lead vocals. You can hear how it's filtered and a bit of reverb there too. So that's another thing I picked up, and I absolutely love it. It really adds to the production. Now, though this production is quite electronic, there are still some live musicians in this track. As you can hear harmonica played throughout the song, and it's the one and only Stevie Wonder. So there you go. And apparently Stevie Wonder met Chaka Khan years ago during a Chaka and Rufus days, and he even wrote a song for them as well. So it's a very small world. So yeah, apparently Prince was meant to play the guitar for I Feel For You, but he was recording Purple Rain. So Stevie Wonder stepped in and played the harmonica after attending Marvin Gaye's funeral. This was April 4th, 1984. And here's another fun fact for you. So when you listen to the song, there's a bit of a breakdown, and you hear that say yeah, and then you hear a crowd go ah. That is a sample from one of Stevie Wonder's songs. This is back in 1963, right? Called Fingertips Part 2. And you want to know another fun fact about that song? Marvin Gaye played the drums for that song, Fingertips Part 2. I didn't even know Marvin Gaye played the drums, bruv. So I was like, wow. Chaka Khan, I Feel For You is just a really, really dope song. I mean, as I was doing my research and finding out all these fun facts and listening to production, I was just like, this was a very well put together song. And I love everything about it. It's just so big and so typically 80s. And you just had like the greats all collaborating on this record. Chaka Khan, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, even though He had passed. God bless his soul. And it's just an amazing song. And I love it. And I just wanted to share that joy with you and the things I'd learned about it. And Prince, of course, yes, Prince. I mean, he wrote the song, innit? So that is my little discussion on Chaka Khan's I Feel For You. Big, 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 big tune. And I've finally been able to get off my chest. So I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode. As per usual, you can find me on Twitter, Ms. Jojob, MZJOJOB, and you can follow That's My Tune in the following ways. That's My Tune Pod on Twitter. That's My Tune Podcast on Instagram. And if you'd like to email, that's my tune podcast at gmail.com. As per usual, if you like music like me, like yourself, then get your friends onto this podcast so we can all geek out on the greatness of music. I'll be back next Tuesday with another episode. We're going to be at episode number 10, finally on the double digits. Hey! Until then, have a great day and a great rest of the week. Goodbye.